Rob Brown. I'm a voiceover artist and a blues man. Oh, bad boy, you tell me I'm a bad boy. You tell me I'm a fly boy. You say I'm gonna go down. Say I've been cheating. Hot I've been stealing. Don't want you feeling that I'm letting you down. Don't you worry. There's no hurry. No need to bury me by setting me down. People ask, how do you get into this game? And in my case, being congenitally lazy, you wait for somebody else to make an appointment for you to make a demo tape, which happened. So I went along to the Flying Dutchman studio in Wandsworth, and they said, forget the demo tape, we've got some work at Jazz FM. So I started doing work at Jazz FM, for Jazz FM, trails and announcements and stuff. And wasn't very well paid, but it was a little start. Then one of those stories, these things never happen. These things never happen. Well, they do. I was interviewing a blues slide guitarist in the Alley Club in Islington, and it was to make a radio program. And the radio program never happened. But this guy turned up. He was an American. When he came to London, he obviously had an entourage of about 5 or 6 people. One of them had a conga on his shoulders. They were all well oiled and they were all well smoked up, shall we say. But they were all friendly, and during the interview, one guy said, "You must make a lot of money with your voice." And I said, "You're joking, I've got an ad on Jazz FM. This is the early 90s. It's on 120 times this month, and I'm getting 30 quid for it." And he just sneered. It was quite a kind and friendly sneer, but it was a sneer all the same. And he wrote a number on a piece of paper and said, "Ring her after 10 in the morning." And I thought, oh yeah, you're not in the States be giving people phone numbers. So I went home, and in the morning I woke up, and at about 9 o'clock I said to myself, maybe I should. So I did. And a woman called Anne Orange, headlines in the papers when she was dealing with Chris Barry, made a great play of her name, Anne Orange, said, "I was hoping you'd call. I've been waiting for you to call. I've made an appointment for you to go to Angel Sound at 6 o'clock this evening if you can." I said, yes. She said, "Well, come in and see me now." So I went in. By the end of that day, I'd made a show reel and was taken on by Noel Gay, who at the time were perhaps the most prestigious of all the VO agencies, their VO department. And Hugh Laurie was there, Stephen Fry was there, Rob Brydon started exactly the same time as me, I think. And I immediately started working. And just carried on since the early 90s. So I always say to people, yes, I've been talking to you for a quarter of a century, but you never knew who I was. Well, it's me, great face for radio. One question I often get asked is, what kind of voice is your voice? And I say, well, that's what it is. In the industry, one tends to get cast with authority, tones required, a bit of growling, in my case, a bit of shouting is about the limit of my talents. But it can be described as the voice of God. And interestingly, I have actually been cast as God twice and as the devil 3 times. So that might be the right scoreline from my point of view. But also I'd have to say, it shows I've got Western civilization covered. Now, the project of the voice always seems to suggest that God is a white, middle-aged, middle-class male. It took the makers of The Matrix to point out to us that, in fact, God is a black, elderly woman who smokes roll-ups. Well, here I am, a white black man who smokes roll-ups and sings the blues as well. And I'm the only person probably who's ever mixed the blues with Shakespeare. And you tell me I can't swear, so I can't tell you this story in perfect detail, or you have to bleep it out. I was doing a gig once at the Devonshire in Balham, and we had a following, mainly sort of middle-aged couples, Guardian reader types sort of thing, and South London lads, some really quite heavy lads. And they loved the blues. They used to have fish fries on summer afternoons. And they came regularly, and they'd sit at the back. Now, when Rob Garner, the guitarist in Gets Loose, broke a string, which he did quite frequently, I had to tell a joke. And one day I decided not to tell a joke. I'd do a bit of Shakespeare. And I did I But To Die speech from Measure for Measure. I said that was Shakespeare blues. Anyway, it became a convention in that particular place where we played very often, very regularly. And one day at the interval, cut a long story short, this really big guy, I mean he was a really big guy, and he wasn't fat, he was just big, walked from the back of the room. He was one of the South London lads. He walked from the back of the room towards me, and he looked at me, he fixed me with his eyes, and I thought, hey, he's going to hit me. And he walked up to me and he said, as he slapped me on the shoulder, Shakespeare came from the in Delta, and bought me a drink. So I've always thought I've got everything covered. The blues, the voice of God, a clear understanding that God is not a white man but a black woman, a clear and grateful understanding that you've got to be a roll-up smoker to be any of these things. Thanks, the Wachowski brothers. Is that what they're called? The Wachowski brothers who made The Matrix? Rather than research it, we'll leave it at that. But yes, there you are, that's me. And I'm going to carry on doing this until either my voice fades away with old age or a surgeon has to cut it out. It's me, it's my life.